Hi, I'm Benthelooney, and I don't want to be Benthelooney. If you guys remember last week's video, you'd know that today I'm looking at cartoons based off of Sonic the Hedgehog. I've dreaded this day ever since I started reviewing cartoons. Truth be told, when I was a gamer, Sonic the Hedgehog was one of my favorite franchises. I loved the fast-paced gameplay, the interesting characters, and beautiful color schemes. I played as many Sonic games as I could get my hands on, for better or worse, but I remained a fan of the games and I would play the classics to this day if given the chance. Then, the cartoons started coming out, followed by the therapy pills. If you think Sonic has had bad luck with video games in recent years, he's had worse luck with animated series. How? Let's find out together. Let's take a look at Sonic cartoons. We're starting off with the first animated series based off of the Blue Speedster, The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. And here's the real kicker. Of course, just what a video game cartoon needs, to be produced by Deke. And by that, I mean it doesn't! So, as with usual video game adaptations, the writers didn't have much to work with when it came to the Sonic games, so they did whatever the hell they wanted. The show is known for being incredibly weird and completely insane, but I can safely say that all you heard about this show is absolutely true. So here's the plot of this show. Pretty much, Dr. Robotnik and his robots try to catch Sonic and Tails, but most of their plans backfire on them. So, Dr. Robotnik in this show feels less like a threatening villain and more like a slapstick foil. In fact, that's what the show is, one big slapstick cartoon. You'd think, oh cool, that means it'll be funny, right? Hell no! It would be funny if it was handled by the right people. The show is not. For starters, you have Sonic and Tails, the main characters of the games. Sonic retains his smart aleck attitude from the games, and Tails... Controversial opinion alert! I love Tails. I don't care what anybody says, he's so cute! No one dares say anything bad about my little fox. No one! So, we're at a great start. The two main characters are as they should be, but the main problems start with the villains. Dr. Robotnik has got to be one of the least intimidating animated villains ever. He spends more time screwing up and being a baby than he does actually being intimidating. Is this how you saw him whenever you played the games? The man was able to build giant robot monsters that killed me on several occasions. I would lie awake at night pondering how the hell I'm gonna beat this guy. The only other video game villain that made me that angry was Sephiroth from Kingdom Hearts 2. You, Sephiroth! So, why in the hell did the cartoon makers get the idea to take one of the most iconic video game villains of all time and make him into Yosemite Sam's taller and even more pathetic cousin? That makes no sense! Why am I complaining? Nothing compares to the new characters this show introduced. Meet Scratch and Grounder, Robotnik's robot sidekicks. You think Robotnik is pathetic? These guys make him look like Iago from Othello! You mean to tell me he can't build two competent robot sidekicks who aren't complete morons? There's also another character, Coconuts. I don't have anything to say about him. The plots of the show can get really weird. For example, in this one, Robotnik makes a gun that has the ability to give anyone who chews it, or flat out touches it, super speed. Does he give it to himself? No! He gives it to Scratch and Grounder! Hey, that's what I would have done! I don't blame him! And you think the villains are stupid? Sometimes their low intelligence rubs off on the heroes. Look at this! All Grounder is doing is wearing a wig, and Tails can't even tell it's him! Elmer Fudd wouldn't fall for that crap! Jeez, this show is even stupider than I remember watching it as a kid. Although, gotta give the show credit, despite the fact that it takes away all the great stuff about the games and completely turns Sonic into a joke, they didn't do anything that would ruin these characters for me.
Give me my smokes!
Smoking's bad for you, you know.
No, it's not. Try it.
Are you being serious right now? Was Grounder a ink robot actually smoking? You don't have any damn nerves or human feelings to even need a buzz. And you wouldn't even be addicted to them either because you don't have a brain. I know these segments are trying to teach kids the dangers of smoking, but Grounder doesn't even have lungs. How the hell would smoking affect him in any way? Also, hell no, you did not just show Tails smoking. Tails is the sweetest, most innocent, kindest fox character I know. He's innocent. He would never smoke. I refuse to believe this. What the hell, Deke? You actually crossed the line this time. The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog sucks. I know, I said I liked this show in my top 11 underrated cartoons video, but I have no idea what cleaning product I was inhaling when I was making that video. But screw myself from 5 years ago. This show. Alright, time to move on to a lighter Sonic cartoon. Sonic Boom. This cartoon is based off of the newest game of the same name. In their next attempt to reboot the franchise and make it fresh for a new generation, Sega decided to design Sonic with a scarf. A scarf. Yep, scarves are the new trend that's sweeping the nation. Kids who wear scarves are hot stuff! So, all the characters I know and love are here. Sonic, Tails, Amy. Controversial opinion alert! I like Amy Rose. I don't get why she gets such a bad rap with fans. She's adorable. Next, there's Knuckles, who... What did they do to Knuckles? Finally! Who the hell is this? Styx the Badger? Can't Sega make one thing Sonic related without adding a new character? Don't you think you have enough? Also, why the hell is she designed like this? I get it. I know what you're going for. But dagnab, Sega, just because she's a female character doesn't mean you have to show some skin or fur on her. It's like you're asking the fans to make porn of her. Too late, they already did. Dang. And I was hoping to make it through this whole video without making a Sonic porn joke. But it's so hard when... Well, just look at her! Alright, so what's this cartoon about?
Oh, improv! I love improv. I'm a crazy pizza man who juggles and sings. Oh, when it does sings, I go marching in.
Oh, it's a comedy. I'm convinced. This show is Sega's official declaration that they don't know what to do with Sonic anymore. They tried to make him a werewolf. They made him fight the Black Knight. Now he's in his own sitcom. Okay, maybe I'm being too harsh. Just because it's a comedy doesn't mean it has to be bad. Let's go deeper into this. So, there's one episode where Dr. Robotnik, Dr. Eggman. That's another thing. What the hell was with changing his name to Dr. Eggman? I know it was revealed that Dr. Eggman is the grandson of Dr. Robotnik, but that still doesn't make any sense. It would be like in the Mario games if at one point it was no longer Bowser, but the grandson, who's named Dubba Dooba Boop 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 Boop. Stick to your damn characters, Sega! Also, what the hell did you do to Knuckles? So, Dr. Eggman has to be Sonic's roommate, and Sonic agrees to it. I can't do it. Nope, I can't do it. I don't even care if this is supposed to be a comedy. You can't honestly tell me that Sonic would ever let his arch enemy live with him. Ben, can't you just turn your brain off and have a laugh? Sorry, I spent most of my life playing the games, trying to stop this robot madman from taking over the world, and now here he is living with one of my childhood icons. I can't do it. I can't take this show seriously. I know, it's not supposed to be taken seriously, but that's no excuse for Sega to completely ignore its lore. This plot is more suited for Freakazoid more than it is for Sonic, and even I take Freakazoid more as an actual superhero cartoon than I take this show as a comedy. Did I at least get a few chuckles out of this show? Yeah, there's some funny jokes in it. But still, Eggman, Sonic, living together, the actual hell! Sonic Boom, we're out of ideas. Alright, maybe we should change the pace a bit and look at an animated Sonic series that was made in his home country of Japan. That's right, time to go fast. Let's look at Sonic X. For starters, I was obsessed with this show as a kid. This, Kirby Right Back At Ya, and the 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles made my Saturday mornings as a kid. The damn theme song is burned in my head. So, I loved this show as a kid. Does it hold up well into adulthood? Okay, I'm basing my opinion on the show off the English dub. I know it's for kids, but that's the version that I grew up with, and controversial opinion alert! I prefer dubs over subs. I like to actually watch shows, not read them. That's what books are for. Anyway, I haven't seen the sub version, so I don't know if it's better or not, but jeez Louise, the voice acting in this is awful! The voices of the characters range from loud and annoying to quiet and uninteresting. There's also the Black Maid. Ah, the innocent times when I had no idea what blackface was. Well, I've gotten older. What the hell, Sega? Also, the biggest problem with this show, and I'm sure everybody will agree with me here, who the hell are you? You weren't in the games. Why are you so annoying? Why are you so uninteresting? Why are you perfectly casual with the fact that there's a bunch of 3-foot talking animals around you? Why are you shoved into this show's plot lines? Do you think you have a reason to be here? What did they do to Knuckles and Sonic Boom? Yeah, even as a kid, I remember not liking this character, Chris. I guess he was added so kids could put themselves in his shoes and fantasize about hanging out with Sonic. I can do that on my free time. I don't need to see that kind of crap in my cartoons. But even if Chris wasn't in the show, it would still have one fatal flaw. You know how the other cartoons don't follow the structures of the games at all and just do whatever the hell they want? This show follows the games too closely. Like, the random episode I picked to remind myself about this show was an animated version of the final level of Sonic Adventure 2. In that case, why not just play the game? I have to give my compliments to this show though. Lisa Ortiz voices Amy in this, and she does a great job. I'm probably saying that because I'm such a huge fan of the Slayers, but hey, it's always great to hear Lisa's voice. Bottom line, Sonic X was lots of fun as a kid. It was one of the last excuses for me to wake up early on Saturday mornings, but it just doesn't age well. But I'll admit, it could have been worse. It could have been...
Sonic Underground, Sonic Underground. They made a vow their mother will be found.
I knew this day would come. So, since Sonic was still popular in the 90s, Deke, yes, Deke, was asked once again to make another Sonic cartoon. This show is infamous for being hated by animation fans as well as Sonic fans. Come on, we've seen Sonic's unfunny attempts to copy Roadrunner cartoons, we've seen a Sonic sitcom, and we saw Sonic teaming up with white rich American kid. How could this show possibly top those in terms of awfulness? Do you really want to know? Too late! Time to find out. This is Sonic Underground. So, in this show, Mobius is a dystopian future that's taken over by Robotnik. A queen gives birth to Sonic, Sonia, and Manic. What? This Christopher Walken oracle then tells her that the prophecy says that the kids will rise up to stop Robotnik. What? She then has to give her kids up in order for them to be able to rise up and stop Robotnik. What? Oh, and Jaleel White plays not just Sonic in this one, but also Manic and Sonia. What? Okay, is this Sonic the Hedgehog or insert random sci-fi movie here? You mean to tell me they're taking a 2D platform game about a blue hedgehog that runs from the left side of a map to the right side and turning it into an epic dystopian future cartoon? Is it really that hard to come up with an animated series based off of Sonic the Hedgehog? I'll admit, it's not the easiest video game series to adapt, but I'm sure you could do it if you just put your minds to it. You're trying too hard with this, especially when it doesn't even make sense in its own universe. The Oracle is this all-powerful being, yet he just stands there and tells the characters that they need to stop Robotnik. How about you stop him yourself, you lazy jackass? But this doesn't even begin to scratch the surface as to why this show is so universally hated. Just when you think you've seen Sonic in everything, that there's no way they could possibly make him stoop any lower, this happens.
There's something missing. Something's not quite right. And I can feel it calling to me.
Yep, this is a show where Sonic and his siblings are a rock band. I think we've reached a new standard of not caring here, folks. I'm at a loss for words. If you told me there was a show where Sonic and his siblings are a rock band, I wouldn't believe you. Well, if you were telling me this, even after I watched it, I still wouldn't believe you. Do I even need to keep talking about this show? I think this should be enough of a warning to you to avoid it at all costs. But, can you believe it actually gets worse? For one thing, the characters in the show are complete morons. When you're being attacked by a giant robot, don't worry, Manika's got this one.
Hey, bolt it. Ah!
Our hero! And Sonia never shuts up! You think Amy is annoying and stereotypical? Take a look at this character.
I am never stepping foot in a sewer again. It's dirty, it's smelly, and it's disgusting. It's just that it's so yucky. More bread? How gourmet. Couldn't train start at a more reasonable hour?
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Okay, what I'm about to show you is actually in this show. It's not fan-made, it's not a parody. I took it straight from this show. That's right. Pedophilia. Pedophilia. Because, keep in mind, Sonic and his siblings are supposed to be teenagers in this. Deke, Sega, whoever was responsible for this. What the hell? Did any of you repeat this out loud before you produced this show? You were going to have a big male villain have a crush on a teenage girl character. Oh sure, you think it's so cute. No. Trying to play this off for laughs, make it seem adorable, it's up. Jeez! When people said this show was bad, never would I imagine I'd be completely taken aback by dagnam pedophilia in a kid's cartoon. This was made for kids, folks! I think we're done here. That seals the deal. There's no way anything else I can show from this cartoon can possibly make it sink any lower than that. Sonic Underground. It's in the title. It's a show that should be outlawed. A show that could only be seen by the dirtiest of freaks willing to track it down. It should stay on the black market and keep its sick and twisted fantasies to itself. Ugh. My Jones, you think that with as many cartoon adaptations that have been made of Sonic the Hedgehog, at least one of them would be good. No, these are just awful. Just when you think you've seen the worst, another one comes around and makes you question your faith in humanity. It's a blue hedgehog who stops a mad scientist from taking over the world with his robot army. How hard can that be to adapt into a cartoon? You don't have to start from a blank canvas. You can add some restrictions if you want to still fit with the game, but you don't just do whatever the hell you want with these characters and expect them to stick. Alright, one last Sonic cartoon. One last chance for Sega to redeem themselves. Can they do it?
Sonic, he can really move. Sonic, he's got an attitude. Sonic, he's the fastest thing alive. He's the fastest thing alive. He's the fastest thing alive.
Yes, they can. Here's a cartoon that was airing around the same time as The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and you can tell which one of the show was the one with effort put into it. This is another dystopian future cartoon, with Robotnik taking over Mobius, and is turning all living things into robots. Now this is the villain I'm talking about! And, as an added bonus, take a listen to his voice.
Before this day is done, you and the Power Rings will be right in the palm of my hand.
Oh, Jim Cummings, read me bedtime stories with that voice. Next, we have the heroes. They're Sonic and Tails, but then we have a group of characters that were introduced in the show who are actually great! There's Bunny Rabbit, voiced by the late great Christine Cavanaugh, Antoine, a coyote who's most cowardly out of all of them, Rotor, a tech whiz, and finally Princess Sally, who is probably the best character in this show. Why? She's a girl who comes up with smart plans and she kicks ass. I love her. She's a great character. Sue me! Together, these characters make up the Freedom Fighters, who are trying to overthrow Robotnik and take back Mobius. While this cartoon is different from the games in many ways, it doesn't take away from what Sonic is all about. He's got his smart aleck attitude and everything. Not to mention, this show is actually funny. Even funnier than the shows that were trying to be funny. I also love this show's main message. Even in a universe where evil has taken over, the characters keep an optimistic outlook and do their best to bring peace back to their world. It's a positive message about starting over and keeping hope even when it looks like all hope is lost. Jeez, I would never expect such messages from a Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon. But it does it so well and it's so subtle that I'm not complaining. And to top it off, it's got one of the best theme songs I've ever heard from any cartoon. Just listen to the singer. He was asked to make a theme song about a blue hedgehog who runs really fast. Not much to work with, but he made the most of it. Amazing. So, out of all the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons out there, this one is actually really great. True, it sadly ended on a cliffhanger, but for what it is, it's definitely a show that turned out a lot better than it needed to be, and definitely a show I'll be watching all the way through. What animation company holds the honor of giving us such a wonderful show with so much effort put into it? They did it! They actually put effort in a cartoon! They made something great! They struck gold! It's not Cratera garbage! It's not Cratera garbage! Wow, who knew they had it in them? I sure as hell didn't. It's like they made all those crappy cartoons on purpose that when they finally made something that was decent, it looked like a masterpiece by comparison. Clever, Deke. Clever. You win this round. I'm Benthelooney,